morning, cubies and newbies. I am Sunshine, and this is the ABCube method for solving the Rubik's Cubes. It works on every size Rubik's Cube, and I hope you guys all had a nice weekend. Today is Monday, and so today I'm going to be solving the corners. It's Monday. I do the corners on Mondays, so I'm going to scramble. Excuse me. I was up late in that one. I was up late watching a movie. Scramble. All right, let's get started. Feel free to chat with me. I love chatting more than I love monologuing. But in the meantime, I'm just going to do, this is a quick overview. This is the ABCube method for solving Rubik's Cubes because this is Formula A, it's 4 moves. This is Formula B, 8 moves. And with that, you can solve every n by n cube, 2 by 2 through up as high as you can hold in your hands. There's no, I don't make you memorize the standardized notation. I don't make you learn, label all of the pieces and all of the rows and all of the columns. It's all visual. Basically, we look at the front of the cube as if it were a spreadsheet with columns and rows, and we determine which cube we want to move, and we move that we applied it to that cube, and we're only looking at the front of the cube. So there, you won't have any back turns, you won't have any all right, let's not talk about what you won't have. Let's jump right into doing it. Give me a day off from cubing and my brain reset. Okay, let's try this again. All right, hi, I am Sunshine. Let's start with doesn't matter which cube we start with because they're all done the exact same way. So there's 6 colors on your cube. There's 8 corners on your cube. We're going to, I usually start with yellow. So I pick a corner that has yellow and I hold that under my left thumb. I know words. Under my left thumb. I'm going to be working on corners first, which means I'm ignoring all of the edges, all of the centers. I'm looking only at the pieces that I'm working at. I don't use look ahead. I don't, this is geared for beginners and non-cubers, but I think it helps increase understanding of the intuitive nature of the cube. Bottom line, this is a toy. As Woody said to Buzz Lightyear, "You're a toy." It's a very beloved toy, but it is a toy. So if you're not having fun, put it down, go have a nap, have a snack, come back when you're feeling better, because this should be fun. So I've chosen yellow as my first color. I'm working on the corners first, and this yellow is on the top layer where I want it to be. So this cube is correct, and I'm going to make the rest of the cube match it. I'm starting with the corners. So I look at this corner. Is there a yellow somewhere on these 3 colors? And the answer is yes. If the answer had been no, I would look on this column, on this cubie. I'm ignoring the edges and centers. I would look at this cubie. Is there a yellow here? And the answer is yes. If there's a yellow in one of these 2 places, you're going to do Formula A. If the answer is no, and there's not a yellow in one of these 2 places, you rotate the bottom quarter turn until there is. So there is a yellow, and so I'm going to do Formula A. Formula A, looking at the front of the cube, uses 1 row and 1 column. And for corners, that's the bottom row and the right-hand column. These 2 corners the cubies are going to switch and then twist. So I'm going to start by moving this piece away from the action. Move this cube where it wants to be, down. I move the cube into that space, and the cube and the space back up to the top. Yellow's on top. I'm only looking at the yellow. I'm ignoring the other colors for now. So I rotate the top row a quarter turn to move it out of the way and protect it, and then I look to see if there's a yellow here or here. There is, so I'm going to formula A again. Out, down, in, up. Yellow is not on top yet, so I'm going to do it again. And yes, I could shortcut and do that, but I'm not going to, because I teach the first four corners the exact same way I teach the second four corners, so they only have to learn one method of doing it. So this cube goes out, this piece goes down, this cube goes in, this piece comes back up again, and it is yellow on top, so I slide the top to protect it out of the way. There's no yellow here, but it is here. So out, down, in, up, and yellow is on top on all four corners. I'm going to do that on all of these. So here's yellow. The yellow is somewhere on here, so formula A. Surely I'm going to line it up. Okay, out, down, in, up, out, down, in, up, out, down, in, up. There it is. Slide it to protect it. Keep going. Out, down, in, up. There it is. Slide the top to keep going. Is there a yellow here? No. Is there a yellow here? No. Slide the bottom by quarter turns until the answer is yes. So there's a yellow in one of these two places. Out, down, in, up, out, down, in, up. And I just keep going until it lands to the top. Okay? Again, here's a yellow. There's no yellow on the here, but there is a yellow somewhere underneath it. So formula A, out, down, in, up, out, down, in, up, out, down, in, up. Keep going until it is on the top. And when it's on the top, slide it out of the way and keep going. No yellow here, no yellow here, so I slide the bottom a quarter turn. There's a yellow now. Out, down, in, up, out, down, in, up, out, down, in, up. Yellow comes to the top. Slide it out of the way to protect it and keep going with this cube. No yellow, this cube, no yellow. Rotate the bottom by quarter turns till the answer is yes. There it is. Out, down, and up. Formula A. It will never be more than 5 because 6 goes back to where you began. Okay, so yellow's on top, yellow's on top, yellow's on top. This one has 2 yellows. We'll start from there. Is there a yellow on this corner? No. Is there a yellow on this corner? Yes. So formula A. Out, down, in, up, out, down, in, up, out, down, in, up. It's on top. Rotate it out of the way. Keep going. There's yellow somewhere. Out, down, in, up, out, down, in, up, out, down, in, up, out, down, in, up. And yes, I did that a long way, but the second four corners are done the same way, so it doesn't, you're not displacing the bottom, should it be correct. So, yellow corners are on top. Next step is to look at the side edges to see if they match. Either all of them will match, none of them will match, or one of them will match. So orange does not equal blue, but red equals red. Green does not equal orange, blue does not equal green. Because of the mathematics of the cube, it has to be either all of them, one of them, or none. So if there's one, if there's none, you move on to the next step. If there's one, you put it to behind you, facing away from you on the cube, and again, this is your front. Excuse me. And we move on to formula B. Formula A brought the color to the top. Formula B moves 3 pieces around if needed. So, working with the corners, you're working with the 2 outside columns, and from every other move is horizontal, and every horizontal move is the reverse of the one before it. So you've got a left, you've got a right, you've got where you have an up, you have a down. It equates to a mathematical zero. It's a commutator, and so it's only going to move the three pieces that you want it to move. So slide the top, first up, slide the top, second up, slide the top, first down, slide the top, second down. Okay, that's formula B. The bottom is the same as it was, but you can't tell that yet. So formula A brings the yellow back to the top. So out, down, in, up, out, down, in, up. Slide the top row to protect it. Keep going. Out, down, in, up, out, down, in, up. Slide the top to keep going. Out, down, in, up, out, down, in, up. Yellow's on top again, and this time the first four corners are correct to each other. So do that again. Blue equals blue, red does not equal green, so the side that matches goes away from you, and we do formula B. Slide up, slide down, and then A to bring the colors back to the top. Out, down, in, up, out, down, in, up. Slide, out, down, in, up, out, down, in, up. Slide, out, down, in, up, out, down, in, up. Slide. Yellow's on top. Corners match. The first four corners are correct to each other. This one, red equals red, green equals green. That means they all match. So this one, the first four corners are already correct to each other, so I can skip that. This one, orange does not equal red, green does not equal blue, or red does not equal orange, green does not equal. So if none of them match, then it doesn't matter which way you hold it, because you're going to do B and then A, and then one side will match. Put that to the back and do it again, and all four corners are going to match. There are shortcuts, of course, but you guys can use your shortcuts on your own when you're doing your own solves, but I don't use shortcuts when I'm training, because I can train every, it's all the same. I can train every, okay, so no corners match. Slide up, slide down, and B to move the corners back to the colors back to the top. Down and up, out, down, in, up. Slide to protect it, keep going. Out, down, in, up, out, down, in, up. Slide the top, keep going. Out, down, in, up, out, down, in, up. Okay, green does not equal orange, blue matches. So the blue side goes away, away. And again, we're going to do B and then A, and the sides, the first four corners will then be correct to each other. Now, why do I take so much trouble working on the first four corners when I can just move them intuitively? Because when I'm teaching the corners, I'm teaching you how to do all of the corners. Whether they're the first thing on the cube you're doing, or the last thing on the cube that you're doing it this way does not mess up anything that is already placed, and so you're never undoing anything. Out, down, in, up, out, down, in, up. Now the first four corners are correct to each other. It's the same, do the same way on all four cubes. Now that the first four corners are correct to each other, we turn them upside down. We put the first four corners down, 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 down. Now we need to work on the second four corners. If you wanna go layer by layer, that's fine, but eventually you're gonna get to the point where you wanna work on the second four corners. And do that an hour later, doesn't matter, it's all done the same way. The second four corners are white on most standardized cubes. If you're working with a non-standardized cube, having done the first four corners helps you find what the second color is, because it's something that's not touching the first four. It's not orange, it's not green, it's not red, it's not blue, and they all have white. So we're just going to do, if you don't know the colors of your cubes, you look for the color that all of them have in common, and it's white. So first thing you do is bring your white color to the top, and this one is already done. So bring the white color to the top on all of these. So it's done with Formula A. Is going to move this down and back up, and it's going to twist it. So out, down, in, up, out, down, in, up. White is on top, slide it out of the way to protect it. Keep going. Out, down, in, up, out, down, in, up. White is on the top, keep going. Out, down, in, up, out, down, in, up. White is not, I gotta keep going. White's not on the top yet. White's on the top, slide it out of the way, keep going. And of course you can do inverses and mirrors and parallels and your own shortcuts and your own patterns, but this way will always work. So white is now on top. Keep going. Okay. Out, down, in, up, out, down, in, up. White's on top, slide it out of the way to protect it. Keep going. Out, down, in, up, out, down, in, up. White's on top, slide it out of the way, keep going. Out, down, in, up, out, down, in, up. Again. Slide it out of the way, keep going. Okay. White's on top. Now, in doing that, you will notice that the first four corners have not been changed, because using just Formula A and Formula B is never going to mess up the bottom. That's why I teach it only one way. Again, these yellows are still there. So, white's already on top here. So, this one. This one's correct. So, let's bring this one to the top. Again, bottom row, right column. Out, down, in, up, out, down, in, up. Keep going till white is on top. Slide the top to keep protect it. Keep going in the next one. Out, down, in, up, out, down, in, up, out, down, in, up. White's on the top, slide it out of the way to keep going. If you look at it mid pattern, the bottom does look messed up. So don't look at it mid pattern. We're going to keep doing Formula A until the white is on top. Out, down, in, up, out, down, in, up. White's on top, bottom has not been troubled, or it has been. It has been active, but it resolved itself, because that's what, if you use just Formula A and Formula B, you never mess up what you already have done. So, white's on top. Now we look at the second colors. Blue does not equal orange. Green does not equal blue. Orange does not equal green, but the red matches, so the red goes away. Going to do Formula B. Slide the top first up, slide the top back second up, slide the top first down, slide the top second down, and bring Formula A to bring your white back to the top again. Out, down, in, up. White is on top, slide it out of the way to protect it. Out, down, in, up. Out, down, in, up. Slide it out of the way, keep going. Out, down, in, up. Out, down, in, up. Now, the top has been altered, but because it's been a multiple of 6, the bottom has not been changed. So, the first 4 corners are correct to each other, the second 4 corners are correct to each other. Rotate the top if you have to until the top and bottom are correct to each other, and then all 8 corners are correct to each other. So these 8 corners are correct. Let's do this one. Okay. Red matches, the other ones don't. Red goes away. Formula B, slide up, slide down, and Formula A to bring your color back to the top. Always a multiple of 2 for the second ones. Slide up. Okay, white's on top, yellow has not been problemed. Now all four corners correct. The second four corners are all correct to each other. Rotate the top until the top and bottom are correct. And these 8 corners are correct to each other. These 8 corners are correct to each other. These 8 corners, let's do this one now. Blue matches blue. Orange is, so blue goes to the back. Formula B. Slide up, slide down, slide down. Formula A to bring it back to the top. Out, down, in, up, out, down, in, up. Slide. Out, down, in, up, out, down, in, up. Slide. Out, down, in, up, out, down, in, up. White's on top. Yellow is still safe. And now your corners are correct to each other. Okay, so that one's done. This one. Green does not equal blue. Let's see, the reds match. So the reds go away. And formula B, slide up, slide down, slide down. You see that the yellow is still correct. Then we do formula A, out, down, in, that's 1. That's 2, slide the top, keep going. 3, 4, slide the top, keep going. 5, 6. And because of the mathematics of the cube, yellow is still safe. And so now, second 4 corners are correct to each other, first 4 corners are correct to each other. We slide the top until to make the top and bottom correct line up. And now these 8 corners are all correct to each other. So there we go. So that's all 8 corners are correct to each other. That means the 2x2 is solved, and everything else has a good start on it. And the reason why we rotated the top instead of the whole cube is because if we had rotated the cube, that would have scrambled the bottom, which we don't want to have happen. If you do, however, there's like 3 ways to mess up a cube. One is to rotate the side to side, rotate the cube instead of just the top. Another is to just drop it in the middle of the pattern, and you've lost track of where you are. The third is that you got distracted by the I said 3, I meant 4. You got distracted by the pieces you're not working with. You know, like if you're only working on the corners, work on only the corners. And then the fourth way is you get confused as to which direction you were going, and you do either 2 lefts instead of a left and right, or you go do 2 ups instead of an up, and 2 up instead of an up and a down. Other than that, this can't mess anything else up that you've already done. That's it for the corners. What I like about this ABCube method is it treats every cube the same, and it works on every cube. And you don't have to memorize. You don't have to memorize a bunch of algorithms and which one to do in which order, which one does what, and get them confused, because there's only 2 things to do. Once you've solved the corners, then that's all you need to know to do all of the rest of the cube. The only difference is we might use formula A again if we're working on an absolute center. You notice I can just muscle this into place at this point in time, but if it was a void or a cube that I couldn't just wrestle it, for doing formula A, we'll move the centers without looking for a solid cube I can do that with. Okay, if, for example, my edges were already solved and I didn't want to mess up my edges, I find the right cube. It needs to go twice, so I apply A to the middle cube. So this is my row and this is my column. So I moved it and then back in, back up again. And again, oops, wait a minute, I didn't line up my corners yet. Nah, there. Okay, so this white wants to go up here, so I move it away, down, in, up, and that way I haven't moved the edges if the edges had been correct. So there you go. You can line up the corners, the centers at this point in time, but if you wait until later to do it, it's done with the Formula A. Okay, white's already lined up. Okay. All right. At this point in time, when I'm teaching in real life, I give them, I spend about an hour just doing the corners. And it's like, okay, let's scramble up, let's do the corners again. We won't move forward till you're comfortable with the corners. And when they're comfortable with the corners, A is easy to remember, it's just 2 moves. B is easy to remember because it's for every up there's a down, for every left there's a right, and it's all you do for the rest of forever. So you do it enough times that you've memorized it. So I say, once you're comfortable with the corners, that's all you need to learn. And then I send them home with the cube and take about 2 minutes to say, oh, by the way, Formula B can be adapted. So when you're using Formula B and you use the outside columns, it's going to work on these corners. When you use an outside and an inside column, it's going to work on edges, like this. Up, up, down, down, and then you've moved 3 edges around. So all you have to pay attention to is, if you go in this direction, it goes this way. If you go in this direction, it goes this way. So you move it away, up, in, up, away, down, in, down. And so either way, you're moving the 3 corners or the edges around. And you only have to pay attention to, you just find a cube that's wrong and determine where it's supposed to be, and then just toss it in that direction. The cube will place it as you get it. So away, up, in, up, away, down, in, down, and once more, away, up, down, down. So Formula B for the outside does the corners, for the outside and inside does the edges, and if you do 2 insides, then it moves the centers. So you just pick a cube that's wrong and toss it in the direction it wants to be. Line up, first thing you line up the top, then you move it up, rotate the top till it's in a different column. So that would not work. So rotate the top, second up, reverse first down, reverse second down. And then I hand them a cube and they go on their way. They come back the next week and they say, I think I've got it. I've mostly got it. I just have one question. And it's usually a parity, and then I explain that parities can be done with 1 single quarter turn, because a parity looks like there's 2 pieces out of place. And that can never happen because of the mathematics of the cube. It's always 3 pieces. If you only see 2, the 3rd piece is the center that's invisible that you're not looking at. So you take the row, the slice that has the parity on it, rotate it a quarter turn, and then solve for the edges again, and that parity has disappeared. So that is why I do the centers last, because doing that does make you readdress the centers if the centers are already done. I do the centers last because if there's a parity, you can just undo it right away and not have to worry about it. Also, if it's an odd number cube, doing the corners dictates what color each side is going to be. We used to do that by building around the immovable centerpiece, but that became no longer effective once we had even number cubes. So but if the 8 corners are correct to each other, that tells you what the color is going to be. And then you place the edges in between those corners, and then when you're placing the centers, those edges are there as a visual reminder of which row you were working on. So it's harder to get confused if you do it outside in. So that is done. Those are the corners. Let's see, anybody join me? Hi, if you're new, if you've just joined me, I am Sunshine. This is the ABCube method for solving Rubik's Cubes. And on Monday we do the corners. So we just do the corners. Now, the corners are done the same way. I do the corners all together and then I work from them. But if you're going layer by layer, it doesn't matter. Doing these corners is not going to mess up your edges ever. if you've done the edges or centers before. So if whether the corners are the first thing you do or the last thing you do or both, whether you're going like layer by layer, it's still done the same way. So any questions, queries, comments, posers, denials, agreements, accusations? Anyone want to chat? It's a Monday. I know some of you guys have to go to work, but it's also Juneteenth, so you might not have to go to work. Anyway, thank you for joining me. And if you if you have friends who have just always wanted to learn but never been able to learn what to take the time to memorize it all, or they're like, just tell me the secret. I don't want to have to memorize all these things. I don't want to practice months and years. Just tell me the secret. Just tell me how it's done. Bring them to me, because this is the secret. This works. There's only one person I've ever failed to teach. And that was because she refused. She says, no, I just like twisting the sides. I don't care. So I can teach anyone. It usually takes me an average of an hour and a half to 2 hours total teach time before someone can walk away with any size cube and know they can solve every size cube. It is not geared for speed cubing because it's lousy. It's not the shortest number of turns, and it's lousy with regrips, but it is. I have taught many people who said, "Oh, I can't learn." No, I can't do that. That's too hard. You must be a genius. I can't do it. So, yes, if you have friends, bring them to me. And when I get some newbies with me here, I can incorporate. I have a Zoom. I know words. I have a Zoom channel as well, where I can be teaching in real time. I can teach up to 3 to 4 people at a time, and so email me, message me, and I will be happy to start demonstrating teaching the cube rather than just monologuing. This is fun for me to be here. I love being able to spend time with you guys, but the real love of my life is being able to teach someone new. Because I love the way their eyes light up when they realize, wait, that worked. I can do that. So anyway, hope you guys all have a great day. And I am going to... Hi, kitty. What? Are you going to join me? What? This is my teaching assistant. Kitty, come here. Come on. Hi. Hi. Fluffer Bunny is going to be shy today. Okay, guys, have a great day. It will be easy for me to say. I will be back tomorrow. Bye.